Hey, Bruce Naylor here. Welcome to my retirement corner. I just got done shooting a video from my other channel, The Boomer Consumer. Check it out. I review audio gear, mostly hi-fi stuff and music. Well, anyhow, give it a check. I thought today I'd kind of talk a little bit about budgeting. I'm not going to go through, this is not an educational kind of thing, just kind of share my experience so far and what I'm doing and where I'm at. And I think to understand where I'm coming from, a little background's in order. I've been self-employed for really most of my working life, but last 18 years I was selling software for particular vendors out there, and it provided my wife and I with a very good living. And we were able to buy our home and pay for our car and put money back for retirement. Not a lot. I mean, do I have millions of dollars in savings? No, I do not. So we're probably on the more modest income retirement plan now, but that's a huge decrease when you are making, thousands of dollars a month, and going down to a smaller amount and trying to maintain the same lifestyle. It's very, very difficult. Fortunately for my wife and I think we're very modest people as far as our spending habits are concerned. We kind of had some financial issues back when we were younger, when we first married, and we learned from those mistakes, and we became very careful people spending money. And so we don't buy stuff just to buy stuff, is what I'm trying to say. We buy stuff with purpose. We try to buy whatever that we need. We try to get the quality, best quality we can, so we don't have to buy it over and over again. But still, explaining to a spouse who's not so used to dealing with the budget, as she calls it, the B word, that, hey, now we have to be a little bit more careful. We're trying to protect our nest egg, and so far, so good. That we're actually trying to save money every month as opposed to pulling money out of the nest egg. That, I think America has just become a very, very expensive place to live for most people. The cost of everything has just went through the roof. Groceries, utility bills, insurance premiums have all just skyrocketed over the last 4 years. We're just, even though we've got everything paid for, when I look what our day-to-day expenses are, it's still several $1,000s a month, and most of it's attributed to the cost of health care and groceries and utilities. Because we don't spend, a whole lot of money on entertainment. My budget for entertainment is like $150 a month. Give me a drink of water. I mean, that's my entertainment budget. It's like $150 a month, and that's mostly for streaming video. We don't really travel. We traveled a lot when we were younger, and we don't have that urge so much anymore. But nonetheless, it's been a challenge, and I have spent the last month just poring over numbers and seeing what we can cut. And what's interesting is I found, because I really wasn't paying attention to all the subscriptions that my wife and I had. Man, oh mercy, they really add up, and they're insidious. I mean, almost everything now is a subscription. And of course, being self-employed and having my own business, I had all my software subscriptions to keep the business running, and I'm still coping with that. You have all the various streaming services and music services, and there's all these things just add up every month. Of course, everybody wants you to be on auto pay and hit your credit card the first of the month. Like we have a water filter that we rent from Culligan, $37 and some odd cents, the first of every month. Car insurance comes out the first day of the month. Life, all these things, they want to hit your bank account. You got to make sure those funds are there, so when they pull it directly out of your account, that you're not overdrawn. So, yeah, that's been some, because I didn't used to worry about that sort of thing, see? I mean, I had the income, and now it's not that we're broke by any stretch of the imagination, but what we're trying to do is preserve capital, keep our day-to-day expenses paid, and even add to our capital a little bit, because we want to have money put back, you see, for a major expense. We never know when a furnace is going to go out, hot water heater is going to die, roof might need replaced, car might need to be replaced, or a transmission or engine. And debt is something you do not want when you retire. You do not want debt. You want to be debt free. But given the high cost of stuff, it's my heart goes out to people who are less fortunate than my wife and I, trying to scrimp by just on Social Security, because it's just not enough. This is what I was telling my wife the other day. Social Security for most people, yes, they rely on it to help them pay their bills, but it's simply not enough for most people to ever retire on and have any kind of quality of life whatsoever. And we intend to age in place in our home. And so we're always going to have these housing expenses. And the state of Indiana is not that kind to the elderly and people on fixed incomes. If you're a homeowner for property tax relief, you've really got to be desperately poor before you can get any kind of break. And it's not much. It's not much. And we've seen people, and we're talking we live in an area with a lot of retirees, and we're starting to hear people say that if the property taxes go up much more, they're not going to be able to afford to stay in their homes because they're on a fixed income. The Social Security raises are like, for example, I'll give you one. So my wife's Medicare supplement jumped from $232.50 a month to almost $280. All right. It's went up, I've calculated, like 223% in 7 years. So that's about a $40-some a month increase in premium. But when she gets a raise on her Social Security, it will not be enough to cover what the increase per month that her Medicare supplement went up. In other words, she's going backwards. And a lot of retirees are going backwards because of the way Social Security calculates the raises. Matter of fact, I just read here the other day that in the last decade, Social Security has lost about 20% of its buying power. So we're getting about 80% or 20% less for our money today than what we were just a decade ago. And it keeps going further and further backwards. And there's no will to improve that. In fact, if you watch the news, everybody's talking about how Social Security is ultimately going to have to cut benefits or even increase the retirement age. So, not trying to be Mr. Doom and Gloom, not all bad, but retirement's the best thing I think that can happen for most people. It's certainly interesting to me. I'm learning and still feel a little bit lost, but every day I'm gaining more confidence. And, I would like to kind of have some dialogue with you folks in the comments who watch these videos and let people know about the Retirement Corner and talk about the challenges and things that people face in retirement. So that's it. That's this episode of Bruce's Retirement Corner. Look forward to talking to you in the comments down below. Hit that subscribe and like button, share, all that good stuff. Talk to you later. Bye.